Good evening, folks. Samson Toll. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Yeah, it's a very tough one. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We come to you to offer our prayers for the bad news coming from home, and for those who did not make it, and for those who are in the hospital, and the family members of those who did not make it and those who are in the hospital. My God, we ask you to take complete control. Only through your intervention that these family might find solace in whatever tragic accident that has happened. We pray for those who did not make it. We pray for the Republic of Liberia. We pray for all Liberians that are going through the trauma tonight. Those that were able to watch that might be going through lots of issues. We ask that you will come and continue to console them. My Lord, we ask you to continue to help whatever situation you find ourselves in. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. Amen. Again, folks, thank you for your patience. We appreciate it. We all have families, so from time to time, these kinds of things happen. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I was not quite prepared for this. So we've been having some fun about this election, laughing at each other. I thought that was going to be the end of it. But apparently, other people have other intention. But that is not my point here tonight. I hope the other panelists will join me here very quickly. I called the CEO, Mr. Alfonso So, just about 10, 15 minutes before coming on air. I said, whether we should even come on air. And he said, yeah, something happened. We have to make sure we come on, because I was going to cancel my show tonight. Because I don't know how I go from being happy, not for the victory, but being happy that Liberian was able to demonstrate this kind of huge achievement that the whole world is praising us, whether you're sedition or unity party or no party, the whole world as a Liberian, the whole world was praising us. And then go from that to this. What kinds of mindset do we have? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? That we are not able to have an election, to have an election. And because somebody won the election, I hope maybe people say it was an accident. I don't know. If it is an accident, it's a bad timing. But if it's not an accident, those who are responsible must be brought to justice. People, I was just 5 minutes before that, I was on the phone with a friend. And he said, oh, I'm at the headquarters celebrating with the ambassador. And then immediately after that, with this kind of bad news, I called a friend. Said, oh, Mr. Samson, I wasn't on that side, I was on the other side. but I'm on my way home now. God forbid. Why if my own family members, all of those people that got hurt tonight, killed tonight, these are family members, family members, family members. What do we make of this? What do we say? What is this? What is this? What is it? People are associating this with election. I'm not going to rush into judgment, but just from discussion of other people, if it is an accident, it's a tragic accident. But from the descriptions of the eyewitnesses and things like that, every one of them believe it wasn't an accident. It was done on purpose. People say the car was parked for some time. So if, and I'm saying if, and now let me stress that again, if this is not an accident, whoever that is responsible, whoever, not just responsible, anyone that is connected with this kinds of heinous crime in Liberia, first of its kind in history in Liberia. Yeah, we know we have a civil war. Yeah, people are fighting, killing each other, but they were doing it with anger. They were doing so because were fighting. It's a war. But this is not war, it's an election. What do we make of it? What do we make of it? I really don't know. I don't know. You know me, it's liberal, me and my big mouth, but I don't know what to make of it. I really, truly, I don't know how to express it, what to say, who to blame, and whatever. All I can do, deep inside of me, is ask my God for peace. On Broad Street, on Broad Street, on Broad Street. At least if this was civil war, you say, okay, the group that did this, we're going after them. But who do you go after? Who do you go after? And how do you go after anybody? We have a law in the country. You can't take law onto your own hands and go after anybody. This is not war. But people are saying, why were Unity Party supporters targeted? For what reason? If this is not an accident, was it done because the election, the Unity Party won the election? Who are we? Who are we? Do we not have the sense of family anymore? What does it have to do with the past civil war? What is the connection here? What is the connection? I don't know. And as day goes by, a lot of people going to speculate. And I myself, I will be speculating from time to time. But tonight, I just look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Graphic situation we cannot show. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is it? What is this? Look at this. Look at these kind of pictures that I'm looking at here. For what reason? For what reason? People 1 minute celebrating, joyful, dancing in the street, and another minute people running over them. For what? For what? Because in an election? This tonight, with all my liberal big mouth, this has nothing. I'm a tough guy. I've been through a lot. But this one, I just don't know what to say. I don't. Mr. So, if you're listening, please join me here. You know, but let me go on. Let me go on. We will continue to pray for the family. Those of you that are listening, I wasn't even able to share my video. So please share this video as much as you can for me. Folks, I don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking. I've not heard from my son yet, so I hope he's okay, because I know if anything, perhaps God bless me, nothing will happen. But if anything, maybe his wife would have called by now. Who knows? Maybe he and his wife, who knows? All kinds of things. Those of us that have family in Monrovia, all kinds of things go through him. I'm sitting down here thinking maybe he and his wife decide to go that way, just take a night out, election. Then I'm thinking, oh, wait, he's not a politician. He's not into political business. But who knows? Who knows? You think those people that got killed, were they thinking they were going to get killed? Or were they politicians? No. No. I have my son, I have nephews, I have nieces in Monrovia, I have cousins in Monrovia. So after this, I'm going to start making calls to all of the family members that I know. Make sure that everyone is okay. What's about other family members in the Liberian diaspora? Do you know what kinds of trauma you guys have brought on us again? Before tomorrow, family members going to start rest in peace, rest in peace. For what? For what? For what? Folks, I just don't know what do I say on this one here. And I'm not quite ready, because I cannot. Maybe days or so from now, maybe. But to sit here and point finger at another Liberian, these are foreign behavior. We don't do that. You make me very, you myself, we're going to throw with tea. Let's meet on the beach. You don't do that. Election. We have had some bad election before. The president, immediately after recognizing that this was not in his favor, he decided to do the honorable thing. So if this is what people are speculating, and if it's true, who are you to try to thwart the will of the Liberian people? Who are you? Nobody, Ambassador Baka didn't go and steal the vote. The election commission did not jump on and say, if that's what they're saying, people saying, election commission didn't jump on and say, oh, by the way, we like Ambassador Baka, you're not giving these. It didn't happen like that. You think that you love president, we are more than president, we are love himself? I don't know. I don't know. More news going to be coming. More news going to be coming. And as you can see here, I'm struggling very much. I try to come up with some nifty stuff I can do here. All I can say here is, God, please help us out. Because this was never Liberian way. These things don't end well. Politicians decided to put Liberia through a mess, and we're still facing that. If it is true, what people are suggesting, if it is true, then I think we have some serious problem to deal with. You know, why were people why were they not able to? Okay, give me a moment here. Let me do this. Okay. Okay. So I hope that Mr. So and the rest of the crew will join me here very shortly and be able to have this conversation. But it's that's Liberia, and those that are involved, if they are Liberians, what kinds of mindset is that? Where do they come from? How do they get involved in these kinds of things? And if what we're hearing, if those things are true, then those Liberians that did this thing that are connected do not deserve to be Liberians. That's my opinion. Because the definition, as far as I'm concerned, of being Liberian, this is your country. Yeah, that's your country. You have to make sure whatever opposition or whatever opportunity you have to make sure Liberia survive. And this is not the route. It's not the road to survival. This is the road to destruction. And anyone who wants to see the destruction of Liberia, then you're not doing us a favor. Not only are you not doing us a favor, but that you are pretty much planning more destruction. But I can assure you, Liberians have gone through this before. There are a lot of Liberians who are very peaceful, and they are ready. They are ready to continue on the peace line. Let me bring in Miles Joe here. Good evening, Mr. Jones. Can you hear me? Mr. Jones, can you hear me? And anyone who wants to see the destruction of Liberia. Mr. Jones, you're listening to something else? Mr. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Mr. Jones.
Miles, you need to mute what you're listening to because the audio is coming right back into the system.
Okay. All right. He's not quite on yet. Good evening, Mr. So.
Yeah, Samson, good evening, and how are you?
Fine. Well, we're just, I'm devastated right now, to be honest with you. I mean, the people
Yeah,
that are hurt or even killed, most likely are all young people. So this is very difficult. What have you been hearing so far?
yeah, we say good evening to all of our viewers and listeners. This is unbelievable, absurd. This is a complete terrorism, an act of domestic terrorism in Liberia. And when you when you called me just when I was coming, and the individual you talked to, and we were talking, the very first thing I gotta say, there should be some sort of outside work with people within the system. I was listening to Sister Network. In fact, our own Mike Down is around. They say there's some other shooting around. He live around right behind what they call behind the ministry of the ministerial complex there. They get a name for it. Mally Jones is in the middle. Mally, we are getting sound. You need to work on your sound. We are good. So the sound, if you having sound issue, is coming from your end. Something you getting me right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Miles, can you hear me? No, not yet.
You
Miles,
gotta check
you
it.
gotta
You
be
gotta check
careful
your
that your
system.
system is frozen now anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. This is
Okay.
it's kind of like people could not imagine to see such a thing to happen. We have just gone through a process which appears to be a peaceful process, but it seems like behind the inner side, the one we didn't see, camera did not capture, it's a complete violent terrorism act. Descriptions. Some of these videos we cannot show them. Videos people sending, they are all saturated, but this is not something that we can really show here in observance of committed policy of the Facebook, because they are very graphic. And Mike was just saying, because Mike is around, EAW Junction there, right? Where they have the ministerial complex, that area there, that's to get a name, some kind of fire, something fire, just forgotten the name.
Congotown bypass area.
Hello?
Yeah, but I mean at the back of ministerial complex.
No, I don't know that.
I get
Hello?
a name. Let me
Yeah,
see.
Mali, are you there?
I'm not getting sound from the computer. And I'm not on mute.
Mike,
I
your
just put
system,
my
you gotta
phone
go
on.
off and work on it, because your echo, we're hearing you, but your echo is coming in.
No, I said I'm talking from the phone.
Yeah, so work on the system that you get a phone, because when
No,
you talk, that will get
no,
what?
you need to check your system. Everything no more here. I'm not mute.
Why would we check our system? You get a problem, not us.
No, I'm using the phone to talk to you that I'm not through the computer, no sound. So check your system.
Malice, go off and come back. We don't need to check anything. We got a system that is working. So you
Oh man, check your system. Your system not 100%.
Mike,
Okay.
Malice,
All
the
right.
people are listening. You go off and come back. Your system, you had that before, not us. You on one side and you on the other side. That's why the echo is coming.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. So I think somebody else joined us.
No, you came in to multiple places and you say we must check our system. People talking seriously.
Right.
Yeah, so he said what is some kind of fire to get somebody please write the name right behind the ministerial complex there, the area that is zone, the area that I just forgotten that they get a name for it. Yeah, but anyway, that's where he lives. On the island, Peace Island there, but they get some kind of name that I call it. He tried, but it's kind of late. You don't want to send people out there. He tried to go there, but people kind of outdoor because of
Is that somebody wrote 540?
Yeah, Johnson and Zawa 540. They are hearing some sporadic shooting, not in the form of exchanging. We don't know exactly what it is, but once when gunfire, especially when it's a quiet late night, you know exactly. It's not a season time for somebody to say they are firing like firecracker or something. So everybody kind of like city, but this is troubling. This is troubling. Something needs to be done. And I was listening to we yet to verify all of this information. I'm not sure why up to this time, even the police, with nobody are hearing anything, maybe it's out there. But the description here, and people got to be very, very careful, especially with this time here.
Yeah,
this is why people.
So, thank you, folks. I think Mr. So got the name now. It's 540.
No, they didn't want help me to get a name. Don't count something here. Don't give me the credit. I forgot completely that something that's all of your paper. Then you don't let it talk through. It's Mr. So get a name. That I mean,
you send the people send the name and you already got it.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not good here tonight.
And none of us.
So,
that's fine. Go ahead.
This here is something on a serious note here. It reminds me of the 2016 July 14. You remember the 19-ton cargo truck that was in Paris. You remember that? They were having some sort of a festival. It's almost equivalent to this. Based on some of the explanations, the yet to be validated, because people say they saw the car, and I think I saw the lady too that was talking. And this is why people got to be sensitive. When people call and give news, give information, even if it is to be false or true, there must be a precautionary measures to be put in place. And but we play and we listen to, after this election here, we've been listening to a lot of tone here. But let me just tell you something here. There's some sort of tweet which is so ridiculous. It's in our chat room. This person called herself Priska or whatever, tweeting. Can you imagine? I can't believe why. I can't believe. Because I just have to say it. I don't want to, because putting the kind of thing out, it just validates the kind of crazy and how mad people are. They get into politics. This is not a policy time, but why should this kind of thing happening here? This person here, Priska Pauline, We will finish them all one by one. That was about 8 o'clock. Let me see here. I mean, it's just crazy. Some of the stuff they are kind of been perused the Facebook network and things people are posting. I'm not sure what the heck is really going on. And people, they got to step to the task. They got to step up to the task. I'm telling you, because, okay, let me go here. Oh, our RP, our fellow citizens that lost their lives today at UP headquarters. Can you imagine Liberians? What kind of people in their right frame of mind to write the kind of thing? Boyka will not get peace. Just how you didn't give Wea peace, you will not get peace. So stop calling for peace. These are post-Liberians writing something. Can you imagine people's lives?
Yeah, for me, Mr. So, I just hope that the government will step in, whether it be the current government or the incoming government.
Which government?
A serious investigation, and those who will be responsible.
Even up to this time, coming, I don't know what is happening right now. Still chatting with a few people. Up to this time, if there's an incident, I hate to do this sort of comparison. I think you should start hearing from authority. That could be the police. We are hearing the perpetrators. One of them somehow been apprehended. We don't know yet. But at this time, people should be able, the law enforcers, they should be able to brief the citizen what is going on right now. And all of these sort of tweets coming from, oh, that's the first, this is another person here, Kia Do. Kia Do posted like 20 minutes ago. That's the first 100 days accident at the Unity Party headquarters, 15% killed. Windsor. Now, when you have people like these sort of people, they should be able to get them to get, because I don't understand the basis of this sort of tweet. Why so much? Is that something? Is that the end of your life? You won it a couple of years ago. If at all, I don't want to sound political here, but the actions and how these things are coming, then you want to link it with politics as if that's the end of their life. And this is ridiculous. And this is where it is a challenge. And the incoming president, Ambassador Boyka, this is where they got to put their foot down, especially within the law enforcement cycle. People must be held accountable of all of this. If there's no action taken, that's something you're going to deal with, because when you see these comments, remember 1990, that's how the trouble started. Those signals started when people started writing those funny things. At that time, we didn't know how this rebel guerrilla thing comes around. They were writing these funny things, and nobody plays mind to it. It was nothing to us. Oh, they were a crazy person write this thing here. Now people are making use, and social media is widely being used nowadays to incite and to promote violence. These people are speaking in code. They are speaking specific language that is understood by their followers and people who do things.
So, Mr. So, well, your point is well taken, but once again, I think those who are writing on social media, their comment is heartless. Their comment is completely out of base. However, they have the right to express themselves the way they see fit, as long as they are not being advocating for people to do more, or even they
don't go there with me. That's not what they call advocate. This is what you do. Sometimes you and I can. No. Why would somebody write this kind of thing here? That you say is that a freedom of speech?
I understand that person can be called to other eyes question why you're writing this, but that person has not committed a crime. So I think what's
the purpose? What's the purpose of people writing that? When the country is meeting
on this, I'm completely dumbfounded on this. However, I think We
Okay,
should
if you
allow
are
the
dumbfounded,
authorities to do their work and see.
okay, hold on 1 second. If you are dumbfounded, then remain dumbfounded. But to edify this sort of behavior of these sort of people, I see these kind of people, whether they're like, I see them as animals. They don't really belong on planet Earth. No one in their right frame of mind will not rest. And you'll never do this. What is that? So what is the connotation of this sort of voice?
I agree with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, let us don't take upon ourselves to pass judgment on these
I'm
people.
not passing judgment. I'm just only saying their actions, whether they were involved or they are sympathizers of the duo, their actions, their expression does not, it doesn't represent a normal human being. Let's face it. For people to use the truck to rush into people that were
I
celebrating of their
agree. I
political
agree.
victory,
That
and then you have
particular
another group of
action,
people in different war, whether
that,
they are in
that,
Liberia or outside of Liberia, we just
that
got to call
particular
them
action,
as
Mr.
they are.
So, it's not something that we're used to. In fact, we saw a similar situation here in the United States, Sherryville, where that guy took his Chevy and ran over those people during a Sherryville demonstration. So I am quite willing to, and I'm agreeing with you that their action is something that is something way outside of bound as a human person. But the point that I'm making, Mr. Soul, I think we should hold our judgment in terms of passing retribution or passing
No.
or what have you. I think we should hold our judgment. Let us just express our
But why is the
displeasure
judgment? I'm not
on this
calling
thing.
anybody. Where's the judgment? Where's the judgment?
Okay. I'm just making a suggestion. Go ahead. I am very much upset with this. In fact, you remember I called you. Whether we should continue with it because I'm not a good friend of mine to have that show tonight. But we're here. The point that I'm making is those who are responsible, let's continue to ask this government and the incoming government to get involved and do some serious investigation this time around. This is not something that we Liberians or we decent human beings will be willing to let go. This is not one of those situations where we let go the auditor death, where we let go many other deaths. This is not. This is something that we Liberians need to do all we can legally to hold the government feet to the fire. Whether this present government or the incoming government, let us tell the incoming leader to find means within the confine of the Constitution that this subject matter do not go in a waste.
Yeah, we're getting the president-elect is expected to speak tomorrow. I'm not sure what I will be how the protocol will look like. Whether the sitting president we are too, but this is serious because to see this thing happening is almost like I want us to be like a Mogadishu now. You know, for people to behave. We don't know who are those perpetrators, the reasons of them doing it. We're hearing people, 1 or 2 persons being apprehended. Hopefully the identity of those people, and we hear from them. But this is it's a challenging time. It's a challenging time. I'm not sure. It's just like, people writing this sort of comment. Let's see here, Marley Jones is here because this is far beyond politics.
One of the concerns that I have, Mr.
Marley, are you hearing right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem came from your side, right?
Yes. Problem, we all share the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so much trouble old men are gone in that way. This is unbelievable. When one give you hard time, you think the other one will come with do something they can't.
So one of the concerns that I have in all of the
good evening, Malik. Welcome.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
In all of the program that I've been watching, perusing on TV tonight, on Facebook, it's this young lady that was first in the street, and after she made some pronouncements, she was rushing to Unity Party headquarters, in the yard of Unity Party headquarters. And that lady need to be either taken to some foreign embassy for
Yeah,
safekeeping.
so you mean the lady that was speaking the Creole or
Yes,
spoon?
yes.
That
Ambassador
one thing they
Baka
did
and
tonight, that one
Ambassador
thing they did
Baka and
tonight.
his people, Ambassador Baka and his people need to do whatever they can.
So that
Contact
was
the
one
foreign
thing.
embassy
That was
for
one
this
thing
for
Spoon
this
did
lady
tonight
to
was
be kept in the foreign embassy until
you
further
don't.
notice.
I think that one thing that they in as much their folks ran on the scene to get a senior, but our one thing they did tonight to endanger that. I mean, the lady say, and you heard saying, say, but I can you Fagon, I've sent you this information before to have her on live camera. You just expose her to danger that anybody can do. So how long can they provide protection? It appears so for her to have a lot of things because I heard she was speaking the Creole and the people that were involved. Apparently, she had information because she said somebody hinted her. I'm not sure what she's saying was true, is or not, but she was displaying picture. All right. So if they wanted to talk to her, she could be off camera. You don't because you don't even know who are in the crowd there. You know, our people, there's news here too. You have to manage it in order to get. You saw how she was shivering and things like that. I mean, it's terrifying. But for them to keep her on live screen, okay, she can go with Unity Partisans executive tonight. But what happens in the next 1 week, 2 weeks? They're gonna go. People are gonna go after her or different people. So she was given that information. She was taking her off that live screen. In my view, if I were in the case to send people that you not want to do that, we're going to talk to. They're going to talk to her, or whether people believe it or not, to give the info. But to have her on live screen to do that, I just thought that was a little bit far over the top.
Yeah, you know, I hope she will be fine as well. Good evening, Mr. George. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Good evening. Welcome.
How you doing, Mr.
We're
So?
just discussing the tragedy
Good evening.
that
Yeah,
is
these
unfolding
people,
in Liberia.
there were a lot of things we wanted to discuss tonight here, but they kind of put up, and I think it's important. We will still engage our folks because it's a tough time. All of us, directly, indirectly, we get family, friends. So what are they saying? People should not even assemble by group to have their own social time because some sort of stupid person from somewhere because they got hurt or their own thing went against them, and then somebody who in sympathy with them, or they will get people to come and take innocent lives like that. It's ridiculous.
Mr. So, this is this is an act of terrorism. This is an act of terrorism, and normally is to terrify the community, the people in the country. This is how it starts, because those who are doing it, they are doing it directly to undermine the Baka government coming in, to intimidate people, because then people turn, hey, the past government was not like this, even though we were suffering, but we have peace of mind. But look at these people, what happened, what they're doing to us. This is why the last time when I continued to sound the alarm about those arms coming into the country, we don't know today where are those arms. We don't know.
And there was a last shooting reporter from Dupa Road there.
This is why when I was seeing these arms must be accountable. These are some of the things we saw ahead, some also way ahead. Because people, there might be lone wolf, there might be some operators will decide to say, you know what happened? The latest weather forecast for 12 years, we will undermine them by terrorizing the country. And this is no joke. This is the time that the president-elect must start putting his security together, because this is not going to stop.
Yeah, but what I think most likely, if they plan, if this thing, I'm saying if I'm using the word,
this from all indications, something it was orchestrated. It was a plan. It was a plan.
No, fine. But what I'm saying is, if the incoming government have indications, some indication of those who are responsible, not necessarily carrying out the act, but those who are even connected, and this incoming government and the security group that I've seen around there, they're not going to play. These people will be prosecuted and thrown in jail.
You see,
You know,
sometimes when we start talking about, when we start giving some of the high voices, and you people, the liberal, and you say you want to seize people's liberty, these are the consequences when you have these political parties with these so-called militia group. These people were already traumatized. They were not properly rehabilitated. They are warlike people. It is something that is running through their head 24 hours, how to get riches overnight. So when their hope dashed away, they resort into any kind of thing that they want to do, which of course, I mean, it's just going to be a tough time. They want to make Liberia to be some sort of one of these East African countries.
yes.
I can't even,
Look on his stuff. This why Harrison, why you right? I am sorry, but what goes around comes around. What are you
Now,
saying?
you see, and this is something what makes sense when you talk to the then people say, why you say what you seen? People have lost their lives. Is that
I
coming
think this
going to
person
make
need to be
so
black. I don't want you to make any
you know what? I
more
don't have
comment.
time for nonsense. This person here, Harrison, never contributed down. Even if he did, he doesn't need to be here. These are people who, if he, I don't know what goes around, I should come around. That's your last time viewing Liberia Public Radio page. These are
So
stupid people who
please
got to
block
teach him
him.
how lesson. Let he be gone,
So
and
you
he's
see,
being blocked from the page yet. I don't get time for that.
Joseph Boca never served as president. He
People,
was vice
children,
president.
mothers, sisters, and people dying there, and you talking about what goes around.
And
Who tells you the
during the early
presidency thing there
government,
is that something that that your entitlement you get there? You take somebody there, somebody got to take you from there. You don't know that?
but
Are you
when we are
serious?
won, the enemy run car into we are jubilation in 2017. These are
I
kind
don't
of
even want to go
nonsense.
that far. I don't have evidence, but for also there are some people we can't entertain them. They have a lot of outlets you can go and do whatever you can do. But for you to come sit down here and make those kind of stupid, crazy statements, then you don't just belong here. If you want to use your head to be under your feet, that we don't do that here. We try to discuss serious issue. This is a danger. We don't know what's going to happen in other places. If it can happen in Monrovia, and we're seeing a lot of posts and tweet all around here. Let me see where Moses Sandy is staying. We're going to put a number here too to get people reaction as well.
This is terrifying, and this is why you
So
see.
this challenge, this is a challenge for the sitting president, President Weah. He needs to make sure he's still in charge. He needs to make sure, if he have never done that before, he needs to make sure to come out to be like a real adult, to make sure that the transitional process is smooth. With this here, how do you think people would be comfortable to go for inauguration or to gather in a huge event?
Mr. So now,
He needs to take
besides that, the
charge.
we are government supposed to do a comprehensive investigation of this case. It's under his wife. Joseph Boga has not taken over.
I wanted to see, if he had never spoken before, I wanted to see whether he would speak this time around.
He has to speak, and not only speaking, but they must bring the perpetrator of this crime to book. You cannot get on and just run into people and kill them because you disagree with them for expressing their view. It did not happen under their government. When they took over 2017, nobody ran car into people jubilating in Monrovia. The jubilee, nobody intimidated anybody. This is the democracy process we are building. The way you make your bid, that's how you lie down on it. If you do good job, the people give you 12 years. If you do bad job, they retire you. It's no need to terrify our people. And some people come sit down to talk nonsense. What is the justification of killing innocent people? Where is the justification? Where is it? These are some of the things someone also far ahead of time.
Guys,
when
let me
people
go
are
off.
going
Let me
all
go
in the
off.
country.
Let me go
and
out.
people
I'm
are
going off for 1 second to see.
Molly, you can jump in. Molly, are you there?
Yeah, but this is not how the platform is run. The platform is
Molly,
run.
forget about the format tonight.
No,
You want to be part of it. Jump.
no.
If you're not, you want to leave, that's
Oh
okay.
man,
Okay,
you got a
go ahead,
president
Mr.
here.
Joyce.
You gotta get yourself organized. No.
Either you roll with the game or
We
you
have not had open discussion on this thing where everybody just talking.
Mr. George, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. George, go ahead.
Look,
how you want to run the country?
Mr. Hold on.
Mr. George, go ahead.
Mr.
Go ahead, talk.
Mr. Two.
Yeah.
We got a system here. Why are you bypassing it?
But what sister? I said,
This,
Mali, do you have anything to contribute?
No, we recognize each other to speak on this platform. Oh man, we don't have open discussion while everybody just talking about to do other platform. You know that.
All right.
You
You
want to
want to
speak
speak or you don't want to
go.
speak?
I'm not forced to talk. You can talk.
Mr. So and Mali.
You can talk.
Why,
Today,
Mr. George?
no,
Do
no,
you
let me
have
say something.
any
No,
more, Mr. George? Mali don't
no.
want. He doesn't have anything to say right now.
No.
Okay.
Let me
Go ahead.
let me say something. Tonight is no joke about what happened in our country.
Yeah, but we should talk one at a time,
So,
man.
it's not time.
But Mr. George finished talking. I ask you, what do you mean one at a time?
Mr. So, Mr. To, this is
go ahead.
Mr. To, I don't think we should approach this thing like this. We sometimes
that has showed that how you won't carry it. There you go ahead.
No, Mali. I don't think we should go down.
I'm saying the truth. I said that Mr. Toso, that how you do it the way he wants to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything strange.
Mr. George, what did I go wrong? Say it.
No.
Mr.
Mr. To and Mr. Mali, let me say this. This is not a forum for us to say who go wrong or who went right. No, this is not a place for it. If anything, we can have a backroom discussion. This is not a forum for that.
Mr. George, I simply said we have an organized system here where we talk one at a time. Mr. To is saying, oh no. That is not I mean, I don't know. For me, I use the system. So if they're not in an open discussion, then you go ahead.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't think that this is a forum for that.
Let me just say this, Mr. George. Let me just say this.
Sure.
The point here for me tonight, I'm not here for formality and what. This is a serious problem. My son is in Liberia. I've not even heard from him. So right now, to be honest with you, I'm not in a mood for any formality or anything. Mother want to stay, he stay. He want to get out, he get out. It doesn't matter to me. Okay,
right.
The show will go.
I will get out because I used to
that's enough. Mother, you want to leave tonight?
No, Mr. To,
I'm not here for.
Don't even bother to send me your link.
Like
don't
that.
bother to send me your link.
Mali. Two right and I made one wrong. Right.
Goodbye. At this type of time, every one of us traumatized like this, and we're going to start something that is not a decent conversation. Please. Mali doesn't want to stay. That's okay. What did I say? You got through speaking.
No, Mr.
Soul was leaving, and I said, Mali, it's yours.
Mr. To, let us leave that.
No, I'm a father. What is the amount of father?
Mr. To, let us leave that. It's not time to navigate that issue right now. I think what we should be discussing is what trending.
Right, that's fine.
In the country.
So, Mr. George, what do you think right now that is perhaps going through the police, folks that are involved? What are some of the conversations you think they're having right now? What are some of the conversations you think they need to have?
You see, Mr. To, it makes for some difficult to speak about the function of the police. And looking at the past record in the country, what can we say that will give people hope that this ridiculous, unpatriotic attitude of people in the country will be solved? The lady that y'all were talking about just before I came in, she was showing some photos. She called some names. I said, they saw that car parked there. Now, you look at, according to description of the crime scene, what happened. That this guy drove the car, went to a running and parked the car, and jumped on the motorboat and pulled up. So it means that this is not a random thing. This is what we call well-planned, organized criminal behavior. Because, I mean, they had a getaway car, a getaway motorbike or car waiting for them. So it didn't just happen in isolation that someone just randomly get up and did this. No, it was something that they had planned. that if the result is announced today, we know definite people will gather at the party headquarters, and we can take advantage of that to kill people. This is how it planned. This was a planned act. This was a planned act of a terrorist. This is a terror action. This is a domestic terror action. It was planned.
The only some of the things that goes through my mind, and they are all still going through my mind tonight, Mr. George, is Liberian security apparatus is not as much sophisticated as those other security apparatus in the West or even some developing country. We saw the car was on fire. This is a car that was supposedly driven by this person, but it was on fire. Who set it on fire? I don't know for sure. But you could see the police standing there with their back turned to the car while it was burning. Now, in this place or any other place, most likely you would have had, how do you call it?
Fire extinguisher.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Mr. No, not you, Mr. Toe. Mr. President, hold on 1 second. Something, go ahead, and I'll bring.
Okay. And so they were going to be able to put out the fire, but everybody was just standing around while the car was burning. You know, but anyway, that's our concern.
Yeah, Mr. Toe, you see, we are still behind. The country is not that equipped, and our people have not been given the kind of information or education when these things happen, what to do. I'm not talking about the police, because the police know exactly what to do when in case of this kind of incident occur. But I was told that it was angry citizens that set the car on ablaze. So, but if it was someone else, no, the people, what they should have done was to protect that car. But however, the car ablaze, the car has a VIN number. So you can use that VIN number to know exactly how that car was brought into the country. Whose name was the registered owner? The last person that had that car or so, but you can trace all those information. So even by setting the car on fire by angry crowd, which they should have done, but I know because they love our people, they did it just to vent the anger. But there are some information still will not bring on that car, like the VIN number will still be there. So that's one evidence that can be used to trace to see who was the last owner of that car or who brought it in. Now, the issue of the police you mentioned, there is no confidence. I will tell you this also, to say that you don't have trained personnel in the police. No. But many of the people, they have been compromised by their bosses because the attachment to certain institution or to certain individual. So these people are not given the latitude to do a professional job. That's why you see most of the time the crimes that occur in Liberia, evidence hammering is always tempered with, because they do so when they go to court, it cannot be admissible in court. So let me give Mr. Sultan, that the person is on the line, so maybe he can.
What about transpire? I was in the backstage, but you know, we can conduct investigation.
I mean, Mr. So can I discuss that right now?
I think probably some of the old people there are gotta maybe coming new. I gotta retire.
Mr. So, please.
I gotta retire. I think y'all will go. Some of y'all will go by force.
Mr. So, let us leave that. We'll have that discussion.
We'll talk about that. Hey, President Sandy, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening to your fellow panelists.
Right.
It's a pleasure to be on the LPR, radio this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't see this coming. No one saw it coming. If anybody knew it, I didn't get that tip off. I think people were in their celebratory mood because of their, side-warm political party, which of course they have the right to jubilate up to the election time. Just when I went here, so I was monitoring close with the Justice Department, or to one person, we're waiting to get the name of that person. One person has been apprehended. allegedly it. The authority, they will be the one to give those details. But Sandy, let me just bring you in here. This is coupled with these sort of other tweets that coming on the Facebook. We will make a this is just the beginning. We will be like a nightmare. I mean, this sort of funny, crazy tweet here. What is the danger in this?
What the implications of what happened today is huge. And if the situation, if it is not controlled, it has the likelihood of making Liberia, another chaotic environment. It was well orchestrated. It was planned to undermine the peace process. And I want to be clear on this. Mr. Todd, you do not have to be a rocket scientist to know that what transpired this evening is the work of the CDC. It was orchestrated by insiders of the CDC. I say so because last weekend, I heard the Secretary General make a very threatening statement regarding the peace process. And last Friday, I commended President Weah. I and most peace-loving people of Liberia commended President Weah for mustering the courage, Mr. Soul, to concede defeat. He set a very high precedent on the African continent. That is something that most African leaders don't easily do. It is unfortunate that some power-drunk individuals within the CDC have decided to embarrass Mr. Weah, embarrass the country by doing this kinds of stuff. That is the work, that is the planning, that is the execution of insiders of the ruling CDC. People are in denial that they cannot afford to be out of government. Democracy works.
So when you say you are a little bit defending it here, when you say insider, does that include? Are you making reference? Are you seeing this within the acquiescence of the?
It was done. It was done with the acquiescence. I can be quoted on this.
With the president?
I can be quoted. Listen, this is what I'm saying. This was done. I'm not saying I don't want to be definitive that it was done with the approval of the president, but I can tell you this was done with the acquiescence of some executives of the CDC.
Oh, okay.
All fingers are pointed at the CDC because look, Mr. Soul, let's do some rational thinking here. That wasn't a motor accident.
No.
If it was a motor accident, that vehicle would not have moved. The driver would have stayed there. So somebody was driving under the influence or something. There was some mechanical problem, and the person accidentally went into the UP headquarters. It will buy. But for the fact that the vehicle left the scene, let's look at common things here. The vehicle went unmarked. They removed the license plate.
No, okay. Was someone being apprehended, like what we are hearing now, by source close with the justice we're waiting for? They probably will still be on air to get a confirmation here. Would that provide a lead as to why and who did this? Do you think this going to put this case to arrest to know exactly who are the perpetrators?
If someone has been arrested and
yeah. Okay. You got to mute your phone if you're driving. Then of course on it. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Sandy.
It's a lack of integrity, the lack of credibility. Over the years, we have had numerous cases involving the murder of prominent citizens in our country remain unresolved. The police are not proven to be credible. So whatever that is happening, Mr. Soul, nobody will believe in. Because The police has not been able to demonstrate, or the criminal justice system has not been able to demonstrate to Liberians that it is credible.
So
That's why you and I, in communication, we say the medium is the message. If LPR is known for propagating falsehood, no matter how credible that story is, when you break that story, nobody will listen to you, nobody will believe you, because it will say, Mr. Soul, the LPR is not credible. But when you maintain neutrality, when you report the truth on a consistent basis, and your reports are verifiable, whatever you report, people will believe it. That's the problem with our criminal justice system. The guys who held the criminal justice system, they are all partisan police officers. They are all partisan security officers. We see them. We see how they conduct themselves.
Hold on 1 second here. We have another caller here, but let me just ask you, you've been a long-time Capitol Hill reporter, being in this business here. We are hearing Ambassador Boycott, the president-elect, will be addressing the nation tomorrow. If you are a speech writer and you were asked to put 1 or 2 paragraphs into the president speech, hopefully tomorrow to the nation, what precisely will you be putting forward?
2 things I'll put forth. I will condemn the act and call for an immediate probe. And this is where, again, Mr. Weah has to demonstrate to Liberians that he's a leader. But again, he's going to drop the ball. When nothing occurred today, but now the Minister of Information, or Mr. Weah himself, should have addressed the country, condemn it, and call for an immediate probe into this matter. Yet, the president has said nothing.
Yeah, this one, that's a difficult thing. That's a difficult thing because borders security should be on the light to find. And now we don't know. We are hearing the Ministry of Justice whether it's being done quietly. But hold on 1 second, the Liberal. Let's see here. We want people Liberian to speak here because this is about our country. There are other people who are gearing all wants to go to attend the inaugural and to see. We applaud, and we said that here. The president did a noble thing. And we know people hearing a lot of news or how tense it was for the president to come to this decision. We know what is happening. But let me go to this number here. The other caller, are you still there? The other phone up here, just some kind of will. Okay, 203 number, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, brother. So this is Wilson.
Wilson Ketter, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, and I'd like to say good evening to the rest of the panelists. Thank you for having me. I would like to start by saying, my condolences to the families that lost loved ones in this tragic and terroristic act. First of all, condemn it to the fullest, the highest degree, and I think the Liberian government should investigate whoever is involved in this kind of a barbaric act. But I also want to caution Facebook users and also news outlets like our platform, like the school platform, to stop inciting. When I say inciting, targeting a particular political institution for carrying on such act, because we have at this point no evidence on anything. If you start to propagate and say that it was this party that did it, there's a possibility that some unity party supporters will start taking action, or will probably want to take action against people that they are associated, and it will end up in serious chaos. Until we can get who did this thing, we cannot start shifting blame where the country is still tense, even though the president conceded and asked for reconciliation and for us to unite our nation. I think it is so foolish for anybody to sit and start pointing fingers at a sitting government or a political party that has been defeated and think that maybe somebody from our party or the party sanctioned this thing to happen. I think that's a wrong path that we're going. And as professionals, I think it's only wise that we invest at this point, encourage our government or put their feet to fire to find out who did this without pointing finger at a political party, because it will set a very bad the family, those people who are injured, I pray that they go on a serious medical treatment and come out, successfully. Those people who lost loved ones, as they take comfort in the Lord. That's all I can say. Thank you so much, brother, for the program.
Yeah, thank you. We know different emotions, and that's quite correct. We can't, for sure, we do not have any evidence in our hand to suggest, but people just going to play around some of the hard tone words and things that happen.
Yeah, but
It would be
so,
unfair to come out to be put it on the docket and say, yeah, this person or this group of person. Yeah, we're going to wait and see by tomorrow the reactions. Authority, those that are close with the authority to kind of prosecute or go after these people. For now, we know one person has been apprehended. Hopefully it will lead us the way through to know exactly what went wrong.
yeah, but Mr. So, let me say something, Mr. So.
And quickly, Mr. So, let me just say this.
Mr. So, just to add up something again, and this is where I think the news should be able to, even like people like us in America here that have seen a lot of stuff. When crime occurred, you don't destroy the evidence. Liberian people, we got to stop this. The vehicle that was set ablaze, they should have kept that vehicle over there so people can come and see. Liberia is very small. Moreover, is small. People must have seen somebody driving that car before.
Yeah, but they got pictures of it.
The owner
No, they get a picture.
They got a picture.
Right. No, they get a picture. As long as somebody is being apprehended, I think that's a good thing. I mean, somebody gotta know. Somebody gotta say something. He was in a robot driving the truck. Yeah, Mr. Sandy, go ahead.
Yeah, so let me just say this, Mr. Thor. This incident occurred immediately after the NEC announced the final result today. And to tell you the irony of how things happen politically in the CDC, the president of the Republic of Liberia on Friday, having verified, having consulted, I will assume his executive, he said, in the interest of peace, like I said, I stand with Mr. Weah on that. I don't want no blood on my hand. We accept the result of this. The former vice president, to congratulate him. That's highly commendable. And for us to see today that the very political party that he represents as standard bearer filed a protest saying that, oh, well, they have concern that there was some fraudulent.
No, but Mr. Sandy.
Yeah. Let me just wrap up. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anyway suggesting that when people have concern, they should not raise their concern. But if the president that you raising your concern about has already conceded, doesn't that defeat the purpose? That's the question that the CDC has to answer. You represent an entity. The man you represent say, I have conceded. So is the CDC saying now, oh yes, we want your pronouncement to be undone? Because that's what it implies. This is what that brings Mr. Weah's leadership ability into question. Mr. So you run PR radio.
Yeah.
When you make a policy pronouncement.
This is quite interesting here. A lifetime award. We're getting a statement. A lifetime award is being awarded to the president of the Republic of Liberia, the Concerned Liberian Network (CLN), through its chairman and CEO, Mr. Y. Michael Gilman, to present a lifetime leadership achievement award to President George Weah at the Jamaica Resort in the Baptist Seminary community. President Weah Elliott told the group in the diaspora Liberians who recently traveled to Liberia to participate in the electoral process to accept the election's result and redoubled their effort for 2029, adding, "We were stronger in the opposition and we need to recalibrate to come back stronger in 2029. Nobody should think they can change the result. Stop crying and begin to work together. As part of, for his part, Chairman and CEO Gilman thanked the President for the invite and congratulated him for preserving the peace and security of the Republic of Liberia. He said Weir's concession speech before the final announcement from NEC has placed him in the league by, by himself and has made him a global democracy icon. The presentation was witnessed by Speaker Bafo Chima, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. D. Maxwell Kimia, and Minister Trokongbi. The chief executive thanked the CLN and the diaspora Liberians for their level of support and engagement in the country, as well as their toughness of presenting him with such an award. He openly said, I am going to change my profile picture to the flag and take my own 19th Street resident. This is quite interesting. A lot is unfolding. News is news. Okay, so Sandy, go ahead, and we're going to bring our commentator. Terry, still there? Just hold on 1 second. Let Mr. Sandy finish.
So this news story that you just broke, it just reconfirmed what I said. The level of respect that Mr. Weir has gained since Friday.
So why would they? So why was somebody? Why was somebody? I just don't know. I don't want to come to a conclusion here. But with all of this good thing here, and if investigations to be conducted, and we just don't know. But why would somebody want to do this like this for this guy? I mean, his statement was so peaceful. If any other thing that I've never given credit to this man, this president, what he did, if you look into other outside of Liberia news outlet, it is the conversation, it is the talking point, which is good for our democracy. Who the hell with this tonight in their right frame of mind have done this sort of thing?
I'm telling you, Mr. So.
This is not look, Mr. So you're wondering, this is not a lone wolf. This was an organized a criminal attack. This was organized by Mr. Sandy.
Go ahead, Mr. Sandy. It just it threw off our topic tonight so badly.
Yeah, I want to say thank you. I sympathize with the bereaved family. I condemn in the strongest term what happened today. This is not what we want for our country. We want our people to live in peace, happiness. You know, for the fact that the president has spoken, that it is time to move forward, should move forward. What these people did tonight has the propensity of causing a bigger problem in our country if not contained. So what if another group of people get in the street tomorrow and say, well, we have come to revenge? What happened? Then what will we
they said the mayor said they would respond.
This is not what we want. It's a song.
Absolutely. You know, that's the same thing. I said that at one time, all of it, that's why the people, when they call in their people political leader, you can't call someone your leader said that you can't even respect and listen to your leader. So then what makes the person your leader? They don't have no regard for their leader. They do whatever they want to do. They don't take instructions. And once they have reached that level of making decisions or tested power and finances, they think they are just all about it. I mean, it just gives you a sort of bad picture without us knowing the details, knowing all of the heated political tension that is ongoing. I mean, people were definitely, that blame game going to be on them. That blame game going to be on them. And it just kind of like throw everything in the gutter of this, the president's statement. Terry is there. Terry, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. Zoe.
Good evening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with all being said, I think that somebody is trying to abrogate the whole entire process to hinder Ambassador Boycott from taking his seat, because definitely it's a call for insurrection. Because you're doing something, because everything have an intent. What is the intent for this particular thing? What is the end game? This particular strategy we're not playing just to be playing or just be carried out. This strategy was planned to create an insurrection so that Ambassador Boycott cannot take a seat and destabilize the country for a little bit. Because you see, one of the things that I found against is that the Unity Party people have been threatening people in the government. All right. And to be honest with you,
what is that threat? What is that threat?
What is happening? When you start threatening people who are already wounded, they're desperate, they know they're going out, and you threatening to persecute them, other things, they will start doing some things to destabilize your process so that you can take your seat. Because they know that if you take your seat, you will go after them. So they will try to create some level of disruption that will cause other people from your own side to create chaos. And once the country goes into that overlaps, definitely no rule, no law, you will end up going for interim government. Because right now, the government have not transitioned yet. So even though the election commission only announced the winner, but the power has not been turned over yet to the incoming president. So he's not yet fully president yet. So if this continues, if there's a response from Unity Party people, it will create chaos that will plunge the country into another instability. So in my opinion, this is a strategy, and there is an intention behind the strategy. And I will advise that the Unity Party people do not respond, because if they do respond, this is what the CDC people want to happen, because I believe there is an intention for this whole entire thing. But again, Unity Party people need to keep quiet. If you want to persecute the people, wait until your government comes to power and you persecute. Stop trying to threaten the people. You go on Spoontorrow, people, all the houses the people building, they're going to be there. These people still control power. And you can't be telling a man that you will kill him, you see the nerve in your hair, everything, and you expect him to go lay down so he can kill you. He's not going to do it. There are some things you keep quiet until the fullness of time comes before you initiate it. But they're all over the place threatening these people. These people are frustrated. This is not a small thing that just happened in 2 days or so. Many of these people were not expecting this thing to happen. So you got to be careful now with how you talk. You know, that's just my own piece of sense. In a much grieving, I want to express my grievances to the family, the bereaved family, and all of that. We mourn with them, you know, but this is a sad news for the whole entire country, and we really, really got to pray. We really got to pray.
Terry, let me tell you something. We cannot sit down and allow other people to terrify our people because statements that people make. People have the platforms, that is the campaign, they have policy that they ran on, that we're going to hold people accountable. It's not a threat. Holding people accountable, what makes it a threat? Is that justified to go and kill a bunch of people? That does not justify anything. It doesn't justify anything.
You got to know the kind of people.
No. Look, we got to stop the kind of
people that have not been
mentality that, oh, I'm afraid because if I say it, these people act like we know. We cannot go down that path. The VEHICL government is in power for 6 years. If I say I have said over and over, people must be accountable. Is that threat? Everything must be done within the confines of the law. Nobody from Unity Party has gone to grab any government official to say that you did this. So we'll go against the law to do the no. Nobody have done that. CDC they talk about going after other people. So is that justified for one group of people, somebody to go take a car and run into people? No. That is not justifiable. And we should not let the kind of fear to put in our people. Because someone went on there and said they will hold people accountable, so therefore give some people the right or somebody take care of going into people. No, we should not even go there with it. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
George.
What it was a lone wolf?
I'm not.
Let me bring in.
Can I say this, Mr. So?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll bring in Esther.
I'm not saying that these people are right for taking the life of people. I'm saying that these are things, when you do this kind of thing, it creates because.
So what is the crime by saying that you will hold people accountable? What is the crime that when you say you will hold people accountable?
By the law.
No, what is the crime?
Why do you think the voting CP have?
No, I'm asking you, what is the crime that if someone says, I will hold myself accountable?
This is not a government that have been working. See the of death rate that have been taking.
Michael, we gotta wait. Other people on the line.
All of a sudden, you start talking about how power have been given to you now. Then all of a sudden, you're talking about how you after these people.
But is that crime?
Those things can create chaos. It can create all kinds of things.
It cannot create chaos because we want to justify.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's hold on. Let's not make it. Let's get other people's side of the story. Libra, what are you hearing? Esther, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. So.
Oh, this is I never had a slightest thought that we're going to be having this sort of conversation. What I really wanted to have the focus on the incoming president, his developmental agenda, and how you're going to kind of get governance going. Now, here we are, another huge distraction kicks in, and now we are. But let's hear from you. You saw what is coming out of your own country. What's going through your mind?
Hello, Mr. Singh. Hello to the rest of the panelists. Hello to Liberians. I was shocked, Mr. To. It was like a dream. This is the least thing that I ever expected to happen. So, my condolences to the family, to the mothers who will go to bed tonight without their kids home. So the young people who went to school on hungry stomach that couldn't eat, they walked for distances to go to school to just get education. That woman that went in the market to sell her bitter ball to send her child to school, and today their life just got short because somebody from somewhere is not happy. I am not sure what went on, whether it was an accident, whether it was premeditated, that will listen to the police before I already talk on that. But at the end of the day, Liberians lost their life. Our brothers and sisters, our children, maybe fathers and mothers were among them and lost their lives. If you work hard for something, for years you've been wanting this thing, and you work so hard, and you achieve it, you will celebrate, you'll be happy. That's why people were there to celebrate. Not sure what happened. Somebody will bring a car and just run into people like that. When it comes to healthcare system we have, people will be taken to the hospital before they even be treated. Not at other places where they be treated on the scene. So it's a sad day. So when you hear how the people praise Liberia election, I was so proud, like, wow, Arise TV from Nigeria. They're like, what can we learn from the Liberia election? Everybody was talking, the president already agreed to his defeat. He won peace. I'm not sure if it is. I don't want to put blame because when you start talking about it is CDC, I think it lessens sometimes. It is people right to say what they want to say, but then people start to take side because of politics. But at the end of the day, they forget that their brothers and sisters died.
This is a clear indication how the country is divided. That's a clear indication to how the country is heavily divided. I mean, it is visible. You can see it. You can see the bitterness. You can see the resentment when you talk to these people that belong to these different political parties. People still can't overcome what has happened. People felt the wrong decision. People cheated, and something was supernatural that wasn't natural took place. So this in their own little war, trying to overcome their own, stress out of the politics here. But with this sort of thing here, it just doesn't warrant. There's no justification for that for somebody to do what it did, or group of people perhaps plan and say this is what we want to do, and they were able to execute it. It's just beyond human imagination.
It's a sad day, very sad day in Liberia, because at the end of the day, whether you come out to say, oh, it is not CDC, it is UP, Liberians lost their life. Children died.
Let me make somebody.
What we're talking about. People should not just look at this as everything is partisan. Even if you give somebody food, they do good. They will say, which party are you from? That's how this whole political thing have divided us. We are Liberian first before we even join political parties. Our brothers and sisters lying in the mortuary right now. Family members are crying. And all we get to be doing is that, oh, it is not me, it is your, it is that.
This is a habit that created people to.
It's a sad thing. I don't know, because we have fought war, people have seen so much death that when somebody dies, it doesn't even mean anything anymore to them.
So, Lebra.
Yeah.
If you would, let's internally make everybody president here, because this is a consequential town decision of the leader and all of that here. Let me in the interim make you Ambassador Boyka here, President-elect. Why you trying to put your committees in place for inaugurations, different exploratory committee appointments, doing to vetting and all of the sudden bomb, this sort of I will consider as an explosive. What do you think is going through the minds of the women this evening?
Well, Mr. So, it's for me, you see, I'm very quiet tonight. I really don't know how to have any kinds of serious discussion that involve or not involve emotion on this thing here. I'm not going to sit here to say what's going through the ambassador's mind, but what I can say is that I hope that if Ambassador Waka is given an opportunity tomorrow to speak, obviously he's going to speak to this, but I hope that he tried to, and I think he has already demonstrated that, to say that this is a tragedy and that this present government will be given the opportunity to investigate. Let us all hold our prediction. Let us all hold our accusation of who we think is responsible. Let's give this government the opportunity, the present government, the opportunity to do this last difficult job by investigating. And when the investigation is done, obviously that report will be turned over to the incoming president. And I think other statement that perhaps the ambassador will make to go a long way, as far as I'm concerned, will say to the Liberian people that this is not the Liberia that we know. And this is not the Liberia
the
that
line is occupied. I get a call back. Go ahead, something.
So anyone who is carrying out this, who has carried out this this heinous crime against the Liberian people, if found guilty, will be punished. What I think the ambassador, I hope that will stay away, is to allow, because these things are very easy for your emotion to let you be carried away. So I will hope that the ambassador will contain himself and speak as a father of the nation, and let this pain of the nation come through, but at the same time be respectful to the Constitution, because the president, the sitting president, is still running the show, and that opportunity must be given, not only the opportunity, but the respect. Ambassador White shows that Liberians, other Liberians will follow it. So I think the respect and the opportunity must be given to this current president to carry out the wonderful, wonderful job that he has already started by conceding immediately when he realized he wasn't going to win the election. I think that's something we need to give credit to as well.
So quickly before I go to the line to reduce it here, Emma George and the Liberal. should Ambassador Boyka place a call to the president and to see what his security team, because with this now, even though we don't know yet whether there's a transitional team, but there is the possibility of sharing information sharing. It should be in place in as much he has not been seated.
Yes, yes.
Should he place a call? Should he place a call, or the president should place a
it's
call?
the other way around. The president, the current president, must
place
place a call. I believe must place a call.
And I think that we have been told that has happened already. Amos George.
No, I mean in terms of this situations, what happened to place a call to Ambassador Baka that we're on it, we're working on it. Rest assured that this government will do all we can before you come in, that this thing will be handled properly. Because first thing, to be honest, and I'm not playing politics with this at all, but I'm just being real. This government, this present government, when it comes to these kinds of stuff, Liberians don't trust them because they have had so many mishaps on these things before. So I know this is different, but I hope that the president will speak directly with the incoming president and whatever transition team they have, that this will be part of the agenda and how we carry on from this point on. Mr.
So
George,
quickly, Amos George, who should do the call? We are hearing Ambassador Boyka will be speaking to the nation. Where would the president be? Would the president be speaking? Should he speak as well? Or should we anticipate hearing from him, or the joint security or whatever? But usually this sort of tragedy too is better the president, the voice of the president means a lot.
Yes, Mr. So, in this country, when such a thing happens, it's not the press secretary that you hear from. You hear directly from the president, speaking to the nation immediately to address the nation, to console the victim and to calm the nerve of the country. This thing happened. What is it that President we are could not just address the nation, call on anybody to remain kind and sympathy to those who have lost relatives and who family are wounded, to remain calm, that the government will do everything within its power to bring the perpetrator to book? No, it's tomorrow. Maybe I'm not even sure whether tomorrow he will address the nation. On the other hand, the President-elect Brockite, just need to assure the country citizens that and his partisans that they call on the government to do everything within their power to bring the perpetrator to book. That's all he can do.
Okay,
but
let's go to
let me
the
just
phone
go
line.
one step forward. This thing not happening. Some recording that some of us have. It have a whole lot of fingerprint on it.
We're gonna recording again.
Forget it.
Then why you talk about it if I have to forget it?
No, I just tell him, Mr. So, because when this thing, someone will say it don't happen. It don't happen in a vacuum.
Look, you want to be? I don't want to scream at anybody here tonight. Please, I'm having a headache here already. I don't don't bring that something to here. If you would not want us to know, don't talk about it, please.
So, Mr. So, you know the business we're in. When I tell you something, you got the right to say this and that, but later we're talking. But this thing that happened, I will tell you, it did not happen in a vacuum.
Yeah, of course.
It didn't happen in a vacuum.
This was a plan to do that.
Yes, this is a plan thing, no accident. Because the guy who was on security at the party, I'm gonna say he was directing traffic. He saw this car, he put it on the car, stopped. The person cut the car off for a few minutes, then started the car.
So this is where it, okay. Let me just finish and then let me go to the line here. Because some of the things that people were talking there too, people got to be proactive. And that's what I don't like to manage crisis. Liberia, we are not used to manage crisis, and people saw something was unusual happening. Nearly all of I listened to some of the people at EYT tape. If they are honest saying that, come on, you saw a truck coming, a part, turn off the light, open the doors. The person is not coming. Your eyes already picture. This is why visual, your image, it already captures something unusual is happening. And nobody in their right frame of mind to even put on some sort of a light and see what was really going to happen. Don't you think it would have been prevented? Why?
Mr. So,
Or
is the
should we
problem.
now say this celebration here? Why why it is true what happened was bad thing is no justification. Why there was no because I said this party with a militant thing there, why they never even barricaded that place and knowing that something to put it because I listened to one of the party leaders. They said they've been hearing thing of such. So if you hear it, what did you do to prevent it? Or you were just only protecting yourself? Don't you know that they could even go after the ordinary partisan who even awarded you this political office? I hate to talk those kind of things, but
Mr. George, let me step in 1 minute. Mr. So, your point is quite correct. If you watch this stuff today, that young lady, when they went into the headquarters to talk to her, at first, the first 1 or 4, 5 seconds, she said she didn't want to talk to them.
Right.
She said, I don't want to talk to you because she was angry that she has put. In fact, she made that clear that I've been sending you guys information. Stentons, I've sent you some video of some pictures, and nothing have done. Now there's people have done this thing. They did it to us. By then, I reported it. Nobody said anything, and then Stenton came back to say, well, all of the kinds of information we've been getting from people, we have to screen them. So this is one of those.
No, but she called you, didn't he? If you don't want to say it, she called you. Okay, let's go to the phone lines here and get people reaction. I'm having a headache right now. 9980 number 6339. Victor, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So.
Good evening.
And good evening to the panelists, Pastor and George. First of all, I'd like to condemn what happened to our people today in Liberia. I think that is sad. That is unprecedented. That has never happened in Liberia since after the war. I guess even before the war, something like this has never happened in our country.
They throw a bomb. They throw a bomb before. I think it was Amos Toyota. Even though this one is kind of like it's just so horrific too, but all kinds of crazy things being happening. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it is sad, and I hope that the current government will go after those who are involved. I've seen on social media that one of the perpetrators has been arrested, or the owner of the vehicle, or the one who was driving the vehicle. I hope that he can be investigated well, and if there are other threats coming up, so that the security apparatus in the country can put a halt to that. But also, I think I was watching on LPR, I think it was yesterday, that another guy was stabbed in Dupo Road with similar situation, 2 partisans, I think of, the ruling party and then the United Party. I saw that
people are
yesterday.
Yeah, people are right. People are evicting people now because of people giving people notices to leave their apartments, leave their home. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff go on.
All kinds of things. Yeah.
But listen to the Secretary General of CDC yesterday.
I think that is sad. I think, in my opinion, I was listening to you asking for George and Mr. To whether the president should speak. I think the president should speak to the nation tomorrow, even though the president-elect already planned to give his acceptance speech tomorrow at the rescue center. I think that should also be included into his message to the nation, and encouraging Liberians and giving us hope that he's going to work with the current government to see this situation come to an end. And just to close up, I just want to tell Brother Terry that, no amount of people campaign message should lead people to harming other Liberians. If you didn't do anything while serving in public office, I don't see the need why you have to be afraid that you're going to be audited. Audit doesn't mean that you stole. Audit is just to tell us what did you do X, Y, and Z. If you have those documents to prove your innocence of monies that were given to you or things that were entrusted to you, there's no reason to fear. This is a democratic process. People ran campaign on these messages that when we take power, this is what we will do. And I see no reason why somebody will want to think that because you are going to be audited, so you have to harm those who are not even going to audit you. Those people on Broad Street, are they the one who's going to audit those are in power? No, the answer there is no. They are not going to audit them. None of those people on Broad Street today are going to serve in any public office that they will audit these current government officials. So I think that is lazy. We shouldn't buy into that.
Okay.
People
So
speak
much.
their mind, and and let's have a stable country and a peaceful country.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's Esther, Terry, okay, you guys can stay with us. Any of you guys having?
Can I just get my closing before I can leave? This is Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, go ahead.
So like I said again, I think we should start speculating, because if we will speculate, if we say what if, we can say maybe people were celebrating, somebody was drunk, made a mistake, thinking they were parking a car and they celebrated.
Get it.
But I want us to look at Liberia and put Liberia in a bigger picture. If we start pointing finger at one particular group and making the other group to get angrier with that group, and it becomes clash, Liberia suffer most.
No, but
I come in and we to the place where we were surviving that star. We're getting away from that. We saw the campaign where people got killed in Foya and people got mocked in Monrovia. We saw the campaign. It was de-escalated. I'm asking social media or go on the blue app people, the people on Facebook, our group, our LPR, let us be professional. Let us call this thing domestic terror or terrorism, and let the government bring the perpetrator to justice. With us out telling our viewers, our supporters, that the CDC, because people are moving in that direction. And I think it's very premature and it's very counterproductive to the peace that we are all asking and calling our people for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I mean, nobody have pointed. The only thing we want the government to step into, but there's no any other proof here now.
Your reading party got a
the issue of somebody being wrong. All of the people that we are, all the people that were talking, nobody talk anything like stranger. Okay, thank you so much. Tori, are you there? The man from you in Nairobi again? No, the other man from Thailand to Nairobi, to
Uganda,
Mozambique.
So where are you?
To Sri Lanka will be on. What kind of man is?
he said, Joe, we are going to win the election.
What? But where is he tonight?
That Sarah say you're tourist in Kenya now, in Nairobi.
You in Australia?
No, he was Museveni.
I will be the happiest to be in Australia.
Oh, how you doing, Jeff?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, then we'll go to Marcus.
Okay.
So there is always an intent. You see, Keto, I don't expect you to say any otherwise. Or your government have not been responsible enough to give up any successful investigation in the last 6 years. What made you think they're going to do a proper investigation now? The government is not a responsible government. That is why we were voted out. My concerns have to do with us, the United Party people who support this particular election. We should keep quiet. You already have been elected. When you get in the position, your campaign messages will definitely begin to take effect, because that is what the Liberian people expect you to do, to persecute people and audit. But if you start going on social media and start threatening the people, knowing very well that the people have already lost the election before, they have not lost. So you are saying those things, it didn't mean anything to them. Now they have lost the election. So when you say these things, they know exactly they're going to do it. So they will try to create an insurrection that will stop you from coming to power, and that is not what you want. That is my position. So my advice is, I condemn this to the strongest term, because many people died tonight that shouldn't have died, that could have been prevented. Too much provocation. The president said something. He said the country is divided. The votes can tell you that the country is divided. CDC has 700,000 people that voted for them. So we got to be careful in how we do our provocation. It's not correct. It's not healthy right now. When they asked Ambassador Boka this morning, what is your first thing you're going to do? Ambassador Boka did not go for auditing or targeting people or say, oh, I will persecute this. Ambassador Boka said, we first want to emancipate people from the level of suffering to see how best people can be able to take care of themselves. You know, that is how leaders speak. And I do want to believe that President Weah is in the know on this. I want to strongly believe that President Weah does not know about it. But we also want him to speak. Thank you very much, Mr. So.
Thank you so much. Okay, Esther, what's the word? Then any other thing that you want us to take away, or viewers, Liberians, everywhere, people fighting here?
Yes.
Suppose you are president. Suppose you are president tonight. You would the national anthem will play right away, right?
Yes, definitely will play because my mother instinct already kicked in. First, I think about like if that was my child. So yeah, I will be speaking to the nation. I'm not even waiting for tomorrow. But again, maybe it works different way when you are president. So
before you speak to, you gotta tell the people something now. You can't call me flower.
No, you can't go Mayflower. I say when you're president, it might be different. Yeah, but if I would definitely speak. That's why you get advisors. That's why you got people there with you, people you can call, you know, just a little message to bring the country, to bring the people to come. Okay. I will do that before you even speak. And then I'll pay a visit to the hospital.
So do you do that? So that's another good point. We hear Ambassador Boyka going to be talking. Do you think President Weah will also speak to the nation, both men, in order to restore kind stability, hope, and fear out of the people? Because right now, people will be afraid to gather in group because who knows, today is a car, but who knows, somebody going to throw some sort of petrol bomb or stuff like that. This is a very crazy scenario. All right, thank you so much. Okay, wow. Okay, the man from Nairobi.
Thank you.
Are you monitoring what happened in your country?
Yeah, I do monitor on a daily basis, and I want to send my sincere condolences to the bereaved family, and to Liberia as a country. I hear a lot of people being so political on this issue. Those that died, they are Liberians, and the president is the president of the Republic of Liberia. Ambassador Boaka is the president-elect of the Republic of Liberia, and he is the standard bearer of the Unity Party. So both of them have a role to play in this issue. Because, like you said, the CDC got 700,000 plus votes, and the Unity Party got 800,000 plus votes. And you understand that both parties have good number of supporters. So, the issue has to be managed, and the leaders have to stand tall on this issue, because people who are accusing the CDC, I think, is something that is very bad, because we have seen issue. We are not justifying whatever that happened in Liberia concerning the deaths of those people who were celebrating, but I find it so hard to believe that whenever somebody dies in a mysterious circumstance, people will blame government quickly. I don't know, because we live in countries that we see things. You guys are in the US, and you see school shooting go on, and nobody come out to say, oh, they blame government. They tackle the issue. Those who are responsible should be brought to justice. That is it. So we all condemn the act, because for me, I don't see no reason why somebody will go and drive at a political party headquarters because he or she did not win election. I mean, that's complete madness. Sorry for me using that word. There is no sensible human being, sound human being that would do that. Whoever that ever did that, whether they did it willfully or willingly, whether they did it, I mean, they have to face the full weight of the law, because if a life is lost, it should warrant, it should concern all Liberians. Let us put politics aside and discuss that particular issue. Because, I mean, then the other issue is that I listened to recording from the Secretary General of the CDC. I think he has to calm down. The election, the standard bearer of the party has come out to say he considered defeat. So whatever you are doing is like you are stabbing the standard bearer from the back. Because under no condition that your political leader will speak, then you as the Secretary General, you are also speaking on the same issue. What are you talking? No, we have to grow up. In as much as you will be maybe little in age, but certain positions that you occupy, you have to be mature. If you don't, people will hold you accountable. So whoever that did that, that particular person, or those people who plan whatever that happened, they should be brought to justice, because it's wrong. There is no Liberian, whether you are in CDC, whether you are in Unity Party, this is not politics. Death should never be politicized. Thank you.
Marco, let me push back on something you said.
I'm having headache.
You said in America, we'll have all the gun shootings. Maybe you need to go do more research. They're going to go AR for AR.
Me put my head into now.
When mass shooting take place in the country, Democrats point their hand at the state, the governor of that state, policy they have made there. We point our finger to that state, that because of it, mostly in Republican state, in my state, is open carry. In my state. And we Democrats don't like it. So when this shooting happen, we point finger at the governor.
What they have there?
Open carry.
Open carry. And you're Democrat.
Yeah. So
to a point,
when mass shooting takes place, people point finger at that state governor, and sometimes the president. We point finger at them. So don't say when mass shooting, we accuse government. Yeah, it happens every day when mass shooting takes place in schools.
To a point, you said something. You said something about policy. Policy is different for you, for somebody to have said that it is the party that orchestrated.
But it's a Republican party that condone this action. It's a Republican party that love this gun business. They don't want to put any policy
so
manufacture of guns.
So that's a little bit different. So who like gun business and who doesn't like gun business in Liberia?
That when they empower, they put all the loose laws to protect gun dealers and gun manufacturers. That's the Republican policy. That's the government that had to run it. Democrats opposes it.
So what's about Liberia?
Liberia, where we blame the government because of the government inaction to fully investigate when these crimes happen. That way will come to accuse the government of Liberia. Under President Weah, we saw beating of people who were demonstrating peacefully.
Oh boy.
Most of the cases had not been resolved. Who do you think we should hold? The government. Who do you think we want to hold? You are put in charge to protect the people. So when capital crimes are committed against any citizen, it's the republic that is high. And we expect the government in power to fully investigate those cases. And it has not been done. We hold the government responsible. So this action, what took place, is a terrorist action.
Yeah. I think we'll just wrap up. Hopefully we get much tomorrow is Tuesday, right?
Crime. And you talk about the Secretary General. What did he say yesterday? That if anybody go after sedition, they will go after it anywhere. Is that the message of reconciliation? No.
Okay.
You don't embolden people. You don't
All
embolden
right.
the partisans. That if
All
this
right,
land,
Mr.
there's a law and order.
Okay.
One group of people want to feel that they're above the law.
All right, Mr. Josh. Thank you. Thank you. Nairobi, nice seeing you again. We appreciate it, Mr. Soul.
Is that her name?
Mr. Soul.
He didn't say anything that he need. He didn't say anything
But
that he need.
I think Mr. So has to go. Mr. Two has to go back now because your guy won.
Oh, and you said you came the last time. You said your man going to win, and I told you you will not win.
Yeah,
Who?
but anyway, let me say,
George, you said CDC was going to
we've
win.
been here for some time
No,
now.
I didn't take concern. I would have told you something. I would have analyzed.
From
I'm
time to
analyst.
time.
Oh, and what was your analysis to was?
Okay, Mr. George, we'll discuss that. Tonight is the morning time for all of us. Mr. So, thank you for taking charge because I'm a complete wreck here tonight. This is one of those times that when you run my show, I usually fight with you, but I appreciate you stepping in
because
tonight.
you are unable to manage crisis. That's why you are backing me. So people that you how you run radio station when they say there's a coup or even something, instead of you informing the people and so we should share this guy here. What kind of man is this?
No, what is it? Said that how you run the Ministry of Public Works on a Balkan.
No, I called him earlier and said we should even cancel it because I have no strength with this kind of death. It was just terrible for me.
No, but that's what we're supposed to do. That's our job. That's our job.
That one you're supposed to get strength. The work of an information house that we're doing now. When something happens, don't put your hand in your ear, you start crying. Then how the people will get to be informed? Oh, I get no strength. We must soon come this way. Well, soon thing is here more all over the place here. Is he dancing? When things happen as a media outlet, you step in to that where the war cost stabilize. You don't exacerbate.
Well, whatever. Thank you for hosting the show tonight. We appreciate it.
Trust me, they one are doing here. He will keep it after 3, 4, 5 days. Oh man, his shoulder part here, everything gonna be moving here. The liberal progressive.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Mr. Josh, thank you. Michael, thank you for joining us tonight. And I'll say good night to all of you.
And to our viewers, we'll keep you posted. There are a lot of, you can go on our Facebook page, guys. There are a lot of information there, even the official website. In as much you want to break news, we don't just want to break any kind of news. These news must be verified, well authenticated before we can do it. Follow us on our Facebook and that of our YouTube channel as well. Click like, share. If you are not following, just follow us and you'll be able to get news. And let me say this. 1 second. Well, how many analysts, male analysts, we've been saying this thing out here for those of you who really wants to be part of this national conversation. It doesn't matter which party you support or not. The men then too plenty here. We have what? The other one that came from the party is when their party then went down the hill, other than when it gets heated. So if you have interest in forming part of these national conversations, please let us know. The only thing we don't have.
We don't want plenty more men. Men got plenty of trouble.
The old men here giving me hard time. I try to get rid of some of them. So I think I'd be glad to
invite Esther. Maybe Esther can be part of this show too.
Of course she is, but this time she not tend to kettle. She adopted kettle style now on the phone now.
All right, Mr. So thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks. Again, Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank all of you tonight for participating. Those of you that were writing, I know this is not an easy stuff. And once again, we express our sincere sympathy and to all the family members of those who die and those who hurt as well. We said we're sorry. And to many of you Liberian diaspora, I know things were very, very hectic today because we all got family back home. Every one of us were making phone call. I was surprised that even people were able to get through because I thought the phone line would have been jammed up. But I mean, this is what we do. And thank you for your concern. Thank you for caring. It means forget about what political party you belong to. This kind of thing happen, Liberians in the diaspora shows up. And I really appreciate it. And thank you guys very much. Let's continue to pray for one another. Let's continue to pray for our country. And this is something that we all say we'll continue to pray for God to help us and make sure that whatever it is that is happening in our country, that God should take complete control. I'll say good night to all of you. I'll be back on here again tomorrow night. Next week, though, hopefully things will calm down a little bit, but my tone of next week will be a little bit different. And then this liberal, this wreck liberal that you're looking at tonight. Thanks to Mr. Soul. Because you guys saw me from the beginning. If it was not for Mr. Soul tonight, I don't think I would last. I think I would have had this show closed maybe 30 minutes or so into the show. I would have come to it. But thank you guys. We appreciate it. Again, Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I'll say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Let's continue to pray for one another and pray for the country.